This is the Kearney Board of Aldermen meeting. Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunday, have you had a chance to take roll?
I have taken roll. Everyone is present. You have the quorum.
Thank you. We'll move on to public hearings this evening. We have one public hearing noticed up, a public hearing to receive public comments regarding rezoning 0.52 acres at 213 East Washington Street from R2 two-family residential to RP2 two-family residential plan district. Is there, before we open up the floor for public comment input, is there any additional report from staff?
This rezoning to RP2 would help accommodate construction of a new house at 211 East Washington Street. It used to be a house at that location years ago that burned down in like the 70s. The Hamptons are here on behalf of their application. If there are questions for them.
Great. At this point, we will open the floor for public comment or public input regarding the proposed rezoning of 0.52 acres at 213 East Washington from R2 to RP2. If you wish to speak for or against the proposed change of zoning, we'll have you move forward, state your name and address for the record. Call the floor open for public comment or inputs. Seeing nobody move, I will close the floor. Any discussion from staff? Any questions from the applicant?
I drove out there and looked at it. There's quite a bit of road frontage there. I think they're like 60 feet, something like that. At first, the impression was that, oh, hey, this may get a little tight, but I think there's enough room there on both sides.
Okay. If there's no other questions for the applicant, we'll consider the additional comments and questions from the board under the official ordinance approval later on in the meeting. That concludes our public hearing. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Any questions or items of discussion on the consent agenda this evening? Seeing none, if we could entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Consent agenda passes as presented. Next item is ordinances on the agenda. First ordinance for consideration is a motion approving bill number 24, 2024, presented by Sheila Ernzen, our city administrator. An ordinance approving the reappropriation and revision of the City of Kearney, Missouri fiscal year 2025 adopted city budget to true up beginning fund balance amounts, reappropriate amounts committed in the prior year but not paid prior to the end of the fiscal year 2024, and appropriate additional funds. Sheila?
Good evening, board members and mayor. Tonight's ordinance is taking items, just like the mayor said, that were budgeted in last year's budget. However, for whatever reason, we didn't pay those amounts before the end of the year, although we did order and or planned on actually doing those projects. So this is moving money that was budgeted last year that didn't get spent into this year's to carry over those projects. Additionally, there were a few things that we added. I don't know if you remember, but you approved a matching grant a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, for body camera equipment. There was actually enough money in the general fund due to excess revenues that came in higher than anticipated last fiscal year, and we were allowed to go ahead and appropriate the funds for the matching grant. Also, we added a public works engineering technician in this year's budget. We did not allocate for a vehicle for that position, and so now we have that position filled and the building inspector position filled, and so we have an employee that is driving their personal vehicle it will be less money, more cost effective for the city to purchase a work vehicle and have the employee drive a city vehicle instead of paying mileage. Additionally, we found out that when we hired and brought on a full-time IT network person, there are some critical needs that we need to be planning for that were not known about before this person was hired. And we were able to figure out a way to fund that with the carryover balance.
Are there any questions from the board on the proposed ordinance? Seeing none, if we can read the proposed ordinance on the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the reappropriation and revision of the City of Kearney, Missouri fiscal year 2025 adopted city budget to true up beginning fund balance amounts, reappropriate amounts committed in the prior year but not paid prior to the end of fiscal year 2024, and appropriate additional funds.
Make a motion to approve on first read.
A second.
You read proposed reading by, second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the reappropriation and revision of the City of Kearney, Missouri fiscal year 2025 adopted city budget to true up beginning fund balance amounts, reappropriate amounts committed in the prior year but not paid prior to the end of fiscal year 2024, and appropriate additional funds.
Move to approve on second reading.
A second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderwoman Barker.
Aye.
Vote unanimous, ordinance passes on the second reading. Next ordinance is a motion approving bill number 25, 2024, presented by Eric Marshall, our Parks Director. An ordinance authorizing the city administrator to sign a park reservation agreement between the Kearney R1 School District, a political subdivision in the city of Kearney, Missouri, to host pickleball tournaments.
Thank you. Coach Warman and Coach Birchfield of the Kearney School District want to have a couple of fundraisers in September and October to allow some extra funds for equipment and different sets of uniforms and so on and so forth. This reservation agreement is similar to what we do for the school's 5K run. We already have the school's general liability policy on hand. So pretty much that's it.
Any questions from the board on the proposed ordinance? If we could read the proposed ordinance first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance authorizing the city administrator to sign a park reservation agreement between Kearney R1 School District, a political subdivision, and the city of Kearney, Missouri, to host pickleball tournaments.
Move to approve on first reading.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance authorizing the city administrator to sign a park reservation agreement between Kearney R1 School District, a political subdivision, and the city of Kearney, Missouri, to host pickleball tournaments.
Motion to approve on second reading.
A second.
Pull the board.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderwoman Barker.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Vote unanimous, ordinance passes on the second reading. Next ordinance for consideration this evening is a motion approving bill number 26, 2024, presented by David Pavlich, our Community Development Director. An ordinance amending Chapter 400 of the Municipal Code, the comprehensive zoning regulations of Kearney, Missouri, rezoning approximately 0.52 acres at 213 East Washington Street to RP2, two-family residential plan district, as requested by Larry and Karen Hampton. Do you have anything else to report?
Just a few comments. Yes, the rezoning with the concept plan, the plan associated with that includes the one lot would be narrower than required, but this overall size and setbacks would all be maintained. They included a building elevation in the packet and proposed to build a new house that would fit in the neighborhood. We think it was great, great idea, a great addition. And then we'll have some driveway relocation for the existing house over Prospect Street. Plus the new house would be accessed off of Prospect Street. So there will be a side or a rear entry garage rather than a garage facing Washington Street.
Any questions from the board?
Is it a detached garage or is it a attached garage?
I believe it would be attached, but it doesn't really matter either way, as long as we don't have the driveway or the garage facing Washington Street. That's what the plan would.
It'll be detached.
Will be detached. Okay.
Detached, well, how close is it to my back property line? That's my concern with the detached garage.
Minimum setback is 30 feet.
And we're within the,
We're just gonna put like a buffer patio between it, or deck, depends on the elevation. So you'll be out of the back of the house on the deck into the porch, and we'll just, whatever we end up with. We don't have the final drawings finished with Dennis Duck yet, kind of waiting on approval to finalize the drawings.
yeah.
But we'll keep at least that minimum. I'm gonna have more than 30 feet. I don't drive small vehicles, so.
Well, I just didn't want to be on top of
The
your
more feet I have,
neighbor.
better. That way I can get into my truck, and get turned around and get out.
Yeah,
Full-size truck through cab, so I'm hoping to have close to 40 to 50 feet.
Any other questions?
I was just going to comment that the commission was very excited about this. We think that these infill projects are very important to the vitality of downtown. And so we were excited to see this. We applaud them for the style of house that they did because it fits in with the neighborhood really well.
Great. We are for our Planning and Zoning Commission representative. Anything else from the board? All right, if we could read the proposed ordinance first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance amending Chapter 400 of the Municipal Code, the Comprehensive Zoning Regulations of Kearney, Missouri, rezoning approximately .52 acres at 213 East Washington Street to RP2, two-family residential plan district as requested by Larry and Karen Hampton.
Make a motion to approve.
a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance amending Chapter 400 of the Municipal Code, the Comprehensive Zoning Regulations of Kearney, Missouri, rezoning approximately .52 acres at 213 East Washington Street to RP2, two-family residential plan district, as requested by Larry and Karen Hampton.
Move to approve on second reading.
Second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderwoman Barker.
Aye.
Alderman King. Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Votes unanimous. Ordinance passes on the second reading. There is a second ordinance that's associated with this approval too. A motion approving bill number 27, 2024, presented by David Pavlich, Community Development Director. An ordinance approving a final plat of Grooms Edition, replat of lots 8 and 9, Block D, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of right-of-way and easements therein. David, anything else to add?
The final plat would only subdivide the property from 1 into 2 lots, and the proposed lot lines consistent with the rezoning plan.
Any questions from the board or planning and zoning liaison? If we could read the proposed ordinance, first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving a final plat of Grooms Edition replat of lots 8 and 9, Block D, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of right-of-way and easements thereon.
Move to approve on first reading.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only.
An ordinance approving a final plat of Grooms Edition replat of lots 8 and 9, Block D, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of right-of-way and easements thereon.
Make a motion to approve on second reading.
Second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderwoman Barker.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Votes unanimous. Ordinance passes on the second reading. You guys are more than welcome to stay, but both of your ordinances were approved unanimously. You can get on with your own life and family life if you choose to do so. Thanks for continuing to invest in our community. We appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We have no resolutions on the agenda this evening, no items for review and presentation, so that will move us to mayor's communications. The only item I have this evening is I want to share some appreciation to our city administrator, Sheila Ernzen. She graciously filled in for me for the Chamber State of the Cities luncheon, so I appreciate you taking my presentation from the Clay County State of the Cities and filling in locally here in Kearney. So that allowed me to travel and do a baseball trip with my son. So I really appreciate that. We'll move on to the city administrator's report.
The next regular board meeting will be Monday, July 1st at 6:30 PM right here. And the other thing I wanted to let you guys know is that we paid the semi-annual interest payment on behalf of the Kearney Area Development Council that was approved in 2020. They do have some lot sales pending, and so their hope is that once those lot sales close, they will actually reimburse us for this payment.
That's great. We'll move on to Alderman discussion. Alderman King. Alderman Holt.
Well, I want to discuss our trash situation. Imagine that. I got home and the recycle was picked up, trash was not. While we're having dinner tonight, roughly 5:30, 5:45, something like that. I hear the truck come down and he's in a hurry to pick up stuff, and he picked up the trash. When I left to come here, he did pick up trash, but he was in such a hurry. Cans are spread all over. One can is sitting out in the middle of the street. Another can was actually knocked over in somebody's driveway. So you could tell they were like in a real big hurry to get through, to get done. So I don't know how far behind they were today, but they did get it picked up. All the recycle cans were nice and neat, like normal, but the trash cans were kind of sprawled around. So you may get some complaints from the city, just let you know on that. That's all I got.
Alderman Lehman.
Kind of tying in with Alderman Holtz. It seemed like last week maybe they finally got their act together, but it went right back to the problems. Do we have any update on the revision to the contract?
Here's the update. So I reach out to him several times a week, and today he has asked for a meeting, in-person meeting, to talk about the addendum, and he's bringing some people. I reached out to him to ask him for some proposed dates because I was going to see if the mayor would like to attend that meeting. But so far I haven't heard back about proposed dates. What they asked was, hey, we think we're doing this, so could we, we're doing a good job now, so we don't think there's going to be any need for this addendum. And I just politely let them know that we would like to pursue the addendum and they wouldn't need to worry about the penalty if the performance stayed well.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy to attend the meeting, so as soon as you hear back from them on the dates are available, please let me know.
He being Tyler?
Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago, I must have had 10, 15 people emailing me about trash issues, and although for whatever reason, it seemed like last week, I don't know, maybe everything worked right, but back to this week, I've gotten several complaints that the trash finally got picked up, but like Alderman Holt said, that he's in such a big hurry that the bins are just going everywhere. So there's still an issue. So that's all I have.
Alderman Barber.
Well, I'll go ahead and share my experience. I told Sheila last week I give credit where credit's due. And I drove into my neighborhood last Monday night, and there was the recycle truck was clearly broke down. And they were still sitting there in the neighborhood. And my recycling was not picked up in about 6:30 or so. Here comes another truck. So they sent another truck to the neighborhood.
Good.
And it was all picked up on the day that it was supposed to. So I do applaud the efforts. I don't know that it's completely there yet, but they are trying. So I will give them a little bit of credit for the effort.
I think that's fair because we, I think, set a firm expectation and are asking them to do their part, so appreciate that.
Well, they did pick up the trash. I mean, it did get picked up.
All right, that concludes Alderman discussion. See nothing further posted on the agenda. If we can entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Everybody have a good evening. Thank you for being here.